Skal Labissiere is getting another chance to prove himself after coming off an impressive season last year in the G League for the Stockton Kings. The Sacramento Kings front office clearly still see the potential in him. Sup guys, so a report came out Wednesday stating that the former 28th overall pick in the 2016 draft out of Kentucky, Skal Labissiere, is returning to the Kings on an Exhibit 10 deal. And basically I'm just going to be going over how this is a great move for the Kings, as it is a low risk, high reward move. And I mean, he could be potentially a great fit for our roster. And we'll just see if we do decide to give him that 10-day contract some point next season, how his skill translates to the NBA level compared to his impressive stats that he was putting up in the G League. But before we get into the rest of the video, welcome back to Kings Digest, the channel showcasing all of the upcoming Sacramento Kings news. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, as YouTube still tells me that 96.1% of you guys who watch the videos still aren't yet subscribed. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, and let's get this community growing before the next season gets here, and make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss any future content. Now let's head over to today's report. Wednesday, Sean Cunningham dropped a tweet stating that Skal Labissiere will be returning to the Stockton Kings on an Exhibit 10 according to sources. As he further states, the former first-round pick started his career with the Sacramento Kings in 2016. The 28-year-old returned to the organization last year and was named to the G League up next game. And I mean, this is just, in my opinion, a great move, as we aren't risking much at all offering Skal Labissiere an Exhibit 10 deal, as he just gets a chance to crack that final roster spot at training camp. And if he doesn't get that final roster spot, he will just continue to perform well in the G League for us and lead the Stockton Kings to success in the G League next season, and potentially earn himself a 10-day contract some point next season and try to prove himself at the NBA level. And I mean, a 6'10 power forward with his defensive upside, who can, has the potential to add some more range to his game and space the floor a bit, and shown some great efficiency. I mean, what more could you want from a power forward? Clearly, McNair and the front office of the Sacramento Kings do see the potential in him and want him to stick around. Even though he is getting up there in age at 28 years old, they do still believe that he could be a great fit for our roster at some point. And such a low-risk move, giving him that Exhibit 10 deal, it's only, is only going to benefit us in the long run, and it's a perfect situation for Skal Labissiere to prove himself and to try to earn a spot in the league. And with his stats last season in the G League, he's making a case for himself that he does deserve a spot on an NBA roster, as we head over to this other report that states Labissiere had a productive year for the Stockton Kings last season, as he averaged 17 points, 8 boards, 2 assists, and almost 2 blocks per game, while shooting 65% from the field in 23 regular season games. Now that is just insane. I mean, almost 2 blocks a game at any level of professional basketball is just insane, as that shows that he has great patience and timing on the defensive end. And I mean, with his 6'10 frame, with his long wingspan, and with that defensive IQ and patience, he clearly showed that it gets results, as he almost got 2 blocks a game last year. And I mean, that's someone that we desperately do need on the Sacramento Kings roster, is an elite rim protector. And it's not just the defensive upside of Skal Labissiere that's impressive, it's also his offensive efficiency as he put up 17 points a game on 65% shooting from the field. And I mean, while most of his shots is obviously in the paint, and you do expect him to be shooting that high of a percentage, Skal Labissiere does show potential to add some range to his game, as I believe during his time in the league he did shoot 35% from three, obviously on very minimal attempts from three, but he does show the potential of adding that range to his game eventually. And I mean, that's something that NBA players just tend to develop over time. Obviously, as you've seen it with so many players just working on their jumper in the offseason to try to be more relevant in today's game. And I mean, anybody can develop a jumper, but having defensive patience and IQ and awareness, such as Skal Labissiere, that's something that, you can only learn and be taught, it's something you just gotta understand, and not every player gets that, as you've clearly seen players throughout league history just focus on the offensive end and just ignore the defensive side of the ball completely. But having someone with Skal Labissiere's offensive efficiency is 65% with 17 points a game and almost 2 blocks a game last season is just a win-win for us, as we could potentially develop a great role player for the Sacramento Kings roster. And I mean, even if he doesn't even get that 10-day contract at some point next season, he will definitely lead the G League Stockton Kings to success next season and be an amazing 4 or 5 for the G League, Stockton Kings next season. And I mean, if he does make the Sacramento Kings roster, having someone that could be a backup 4 or 5 for us is just elite. So developing Skal Labissiere's game is actually crucial for our training staff, and it's something that they should definitely focus on. So I can definitely see Mike Brown and McNair and the front office of the Kings monitoring Labissiere very closely next season in the G League if he doesn't crack that final roster spot at training camp. But let's head over to the Slash report that just states over 4 seasons with the Kings and Trailblazers, Labissiere has career averages of 7.2 points, 4.5 boards, and 1 assist per contest, while shooting 49.2% from the field and 35% from three-point range in 148 games. Now, as you look at these stats from his time in the league, it's not as impressive, but he hasn't been in the NBA in some time, and his most recent playing days have been in the G League, and we've seen his impressive stats from the G League. Maybe he grows and develops more as a player, and his next showcasing at the NBA level will go a lot better, as I do believe he does have the potential to be a great fit for our roster at some point. It's just telling if he can develop into that perfect role player that Mike Brown can utilize in our rotation, and be a great backup big for us coming off the bench for Domantas Sabonis, or maybe even be a good backup for Keegan Murray, and work alongside Alex Len, coming off the bench at that backup, front court position. But basically, that's all for today's video, guys. Let me know down in the comments what you think of Skal Labissiere's game, and if you believe he has the potential to develop into a great role player for us. But basically, that's all. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you don't miss any future content. And peace out. I'll see you guys in the next one.